All is good. Do grow weary, don't we? That's right. God is a good God, Antioch. God is a good God. And I try to express that as much as I can. I try to show it. I try not to be so bold and just live off in myself. I really try to show the goodness of God because he's been so good. There's been so many times that things really could have went another way. And it's only by the grace of God. And I know you know as well as I do in your own lives that God showed up, you know, and it wasn't because, it wasn't because you were so good or because you done something so great. He just chose to keep you. Yeah, he had something that he wanted to do with you. But I'm going to ask you guys to kind of talk back to me tonight, if you would. Talking about being uncomfortable, being comfortable in an uncomfortable place. And, you know, we have all been there. And so much is put on you when you are, say, a lead of something, say, in the church, in your family, you're called up on a lot. So you always have to be somewhat strong or somewhat ready because everybody's leaning on you. And I don't think it's nothing that you have to do to be faking or be, but knowing that, it takes a responsibility for that individual. Every time a situation comes, you have to be the one. And in all the times, you know, I don't want to be that one right now. Yeah, I don't want to do that right now. Can I step back out of this whatever and just take a breath? You know, so this is where this is kind of coming from. And when you're kind of talking about being comfortable in an uncomfortable place, you know, and we know God can make you comfortable in some of life's most uncomfortable places. He can bring you through situations you think you won't survive, and he can bring you through them, or feel like you're stuck forever. You know, because a situation came, I never really got to deal with it because I was dealing with everybody else. So I never really even got to think about it. I never really got to chill and just relax. I had to work. You know, I had to keep doing stuff, so I never really got to do it. But God said, you know, in Colossians is where the word is in the first chapter, in the fourth verse is Paul, and he says, since we heard of your faith in Christ Jesus and of the love which ye have to all the saints, for the hope which is laid up for you in heaven, whereof ye heard before in the word of the truth of the gospel, which is come unto you as it is in all the world, and bringeth forth fruit, as it doeth also in you, since the day you heard of it, and knew the grace of God in truth. And so, you know, when you know, just the word, and it's just saying being comfortable and uncomfortable. We all can be comfortable when things are going well, or when things are going. But how do you be comfortable in those uncomfortable situations? Because these things are in the Bible. These things are like, it's even like God is saying, you know, trust me for what you're going through, because all that I do it in good. Even though when something happened to us, it seems bad. It's shocking. You know what I'm saying, brother? He said, I do it for the good. Whatever it was for the good. You know, when he created the world, said that 7th day, he said, I'm through, everything's done, finished, and it was good. You know, so, and in that, but our human flesh, we know the spiritual, we know what God is saying, but our human flesh says another side of hurt, another side of pain. We can get back to the spiritual side, but that flesh side is a different hurt. I can come in a spiritual matter and I can be joyful, I could be praising, I could be doing all the most. But then when I go back to that human side, there's that pain again. The pain left when I was praising. It was gone. I'm enjoying. I'm not faking. I'm not playing like I'm happy. I'm not doing all that. It's gone. But when I go back to my place, I don't find that comfort that I found in the midst of the saints. So, the midst of the preached word, the midst of the music, praise, period, whatever it was, when I go back to my place, I didn't feel that same comfort. So this is what I kind of want you to talk to me about today, because none of us are perfect. None of us got it all figured out. But some people have experienced some things that others haven't experienced. Yes, ma'am.
Why is it that when we're in this space where we're praising Him and worshiping Him, that, if things is late, and why is it that we are not carrying that back to that situation that causes the human pain, the flesh pain?
Anybody? Did you hear the?
I said, why is it that we can, when we're praising and worshiping God and we're in that good space with Him, in that state of worship and praising Him, that when we go back over to this place where we left with the humanness and the pain, why does that not always travel with us in that space? When we go back and we feel the same things that we felt before, is it that we're not taking what God has given us during that time with Him over in that space, or what is it?
Allowing the human side, because we have the human side, and it's hard to just put aside the human side. I was asked today to do something, and my human side is coursing. Should I do this? And I talked to my kids, my daughter especially, and she said, "Oh no, don't get involved." So that human side, but I mean, is that God? Is that God talking and saying, "You better use your head"?
Yeah, you gave 5 cents.
Yeah,
Yeah, He did.
So,
5 cents.
I mean, I think you should listen to that human side. So,
Well, if you're not listening to the Holy Spirit, once you come out this side, excuse me, if the Holy Spirit is with you when you're here in this space, shouldn't the Holy Spirit be with you when you cross back over into that human side? Then God will have any work to do.
Yeah.
God wouldn't have any work to do for you then. If them thinking He was always in this height.
Yeah. I believe that, and I also believe that God knows our human side. And I think sometimes we'll play with our own human side. I think when something really bothers us, we'll play as though it didn't, and it'll be worse. It's all right to say, "Hey, I don't like this. I don't want this." That's all right. It's all right, but I think we're taught to not indulge in truth. You know what I'm saying? It's a true feeling that I don't like not having a job. This is a true feeling that I don't like having money. But you can't say that. Who wants to hear that? It's like you're complaining. That's true for somebody. That's true. And it hurts people in other ways, but people won't express what they're, because it's not safe. It's not a safe place, or my image wouldn't speak to that. That's what we're talking. Being comfortable in an uncomfortable. Yeah, you're in an uncomfortable place, but you're trying to fit the image of being comfortable.
But I've had people say, well, you just don't have enough faith for whatever, and they tell you that.
Yeah.
And like and then it makes you feel that, well, maybe I don't have enough faith.
Yeah.
I should be stronger than this.
And that's what the problem. Let me tell you something. You can have all the faith in the world. When something touches you, faith doesn't have no touch with yourself. With your world self. Faith has no touch. Now, you can go back and get it, but for that moment, for whatever you met for that moment, you watched the basketball game the other night. When Rondo spit it on Chris Paul. Well, see, that kind of stuff, when you get mad at that, it ain't spirit, faith, nothing got nothing to do with being. Spitting is the worst thing you can stab somebody. Spitting is the worst thing you can do to somebody. So I'm saying at all time, in an uncomfortable situation, how is it all right? Is it all right for me to be me for a minute? Is it all right for me to say, hey, I know what you said about me. Let me sit down for a minute. I don't know. I'm hurting. Is it okay? You know what I'm saying? It's almost like you shouldn't do that. If this is my church family and this is why should if I need to open up to anybody, why come I couldn't be up here in the pulpit on Sunday morning and say to you that I am hurting? Why do I have to feel scared?
Guilty about it, that somebody see you as weak.
That's weak. Yeah. And so when I'm not doing that, then I'm weak. Then I'm playing with myself. See what I'm saying? Then it's taking longer for me to get over whatever it is I'm getting over. And then I'm able to teach some youngster or some kid that this is real. Because when they say, well, mama didn't act like that, daddy didn't act like, no, you didn't see them. You didn't see them act like that. They acted like, not that they were acting. They done that. But maybe you didn't get to see them. But you know what? What I'm saying, to make people stronger and better in this time, they need to be able to see some real life situations and experience the whole matter, not just some. And that's what, sometimes we fail. Yeah. 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 And we hear it in all of them, Job. We hear it in all the stories. But I'm saying for us as a human people, why it is for us to being comfortable in an uncomfortable situation. And I'm right, and I believe that. I do. Does that stop me from having my moment? Yeah. Even though I believe whatever come, God had something to do with it. Did nothing happen just to be happy? Did nothing fall on this day that God didn't already know about? I hear all that. But when I deal with it, why come I can't be truthful in dealing with my situation?
And I don't think that we should be shamed in having those flesh moments, but the flesh moments are, so that somebody else can see, yeah, you went through that. But with God's help, you came out of that. You might have been in that flesh moment for a little while. God, allowed you to be in that flesh moment for a while, but you can't stay there. You can't just stay over there
Yeah.
in that flesh moment, because you stay in the flesh moment too long, then the devil takes it and, it spins it out of control.
Yeah. Just a reading for a second. It said, just because you don't understand the path you're on doesn't mean he isn't leading you. So just because I'm having this moment, just because I'm being free and open to whatever, doesn't mean I'm not filled with the Spirit. Doesn't mean I'm not a Christian. Doesn't mean I'm not a believer. If I go home right now and my house is on fire and you couldn't tell me that I ain't gonna go crazy. I ain't going to my car. I'm running to my house. Then lost everything. I mean, I'm not lost in material. I'm talking about in my mind. You done lost everything. So I'm saying that you can't be prepared for something like that. It's no way. But I'm just saying it's taught to say, hey, keep this over here and keep that over there, but I'm never really getting out of what I need to get out. I'm never really sharing with what I'm sharing. You know what I'm saying? Somebody see you and say, well, that didn't look that bad. You didn't seem like you were hurting that bad. You didn't seem like that was a problem. I was looking at you and you was strong. Well, it really wasn't like that. Well, when I seen you, you was always ready to do what you need to do. But it wasn't like that. I heard it. I heard it day and night. But I'm just saying, and sharing real life situations and saying that if you're not handling them right or not behaving right, you're not a Christian.
But Reverend Potter just explained to us a situation. There was a death here, and he did you. But once he went out there, he cried.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody the word I want to use, I can't. But anyway, they reprimanded him because his flesh went to the and it was good that happened to him because then he had to explain to us, because we look at ministers as if you supposed to stand there, you better not cry, and who told you you could cry? Go home and cry. You don't do that before us, because you're supposed to be our leader. You're supposed to be that strong person. Now, you know I ain't stubborn. I'm supposed to be that strong person. And handle it. But it was good that he got up there in that pulpit and he said what he said about, he was upset because somebody reprimanded him. And in other words, why cry with this person? You ain't cried over nobody else. You should have been strong and stood your ground. And they say that about ministers. They say that about Christians. That you shouldn't show your feelings. And you're right, we do. We need to let people know that we have a human side, and as Deacon Wilson said,
People to criticize.
Yeah.
Deacon Wilson said, Jesus, he wept at Lazarus.
Yeah.
He wept then. He just didn't wait to get to the cross to cry.
Yeah. And I understand that. I understand if I was doing a funeral, I did only funerals I done was family, and the funerals you really do have to put yourself out the way to be able to, it's not about you, and you're really trying to manage that and deal with that, but hey, you're human. And let me tell you, it's some things I cry about still to this day. A broken marriage and a tore up kid to the street. I still cry about it today. I know the pain that kid is going through, and I know the pain that those parents are going through also. And it brings tears to my eyes. A marriage, a tore up marriage, it brings tears still to this day. So I'm just saying, and it's just some things that's gonna affect you more than others. And I'm just really, those things still touch me like, it just touch me. But I'm saying, what is wrong with being real with yourself in situation, Yes, sir.
You said something earlier about, and I think I hit on it, about talking to others. You will be put in situations that you've never experienced, that you have never gone through. And by sharing that or talking, whether it's to your Sunday school class or wherever, you don't know where the help is at. And so therefore, there's always somebody else that has gone through something. And here you are just experiencing that, and there's your help right there.
Yeah.
So once you open up and you do share that in sincerity,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with it, because we all have to, sooner or later, deal with something that we never help with.
I'll tell you me, it was real tough for me, and I'm just saying, those are situations that hit me, and Mama J is sitting right here, but DJ was up preaching, and man, it got me, and I went up to him while he was speaking, and grabbed him and began to pray for him. That stuff hurts. It hurts. And so, man, I can't control that. If it's when somebody's hurting or even may not even fully understand what they're doing or what they're going through, you do. Because you've done it. You've been there. So some of that hurt you'll carry again. You know what I'm saying? You'll carry it. So I'm just saying, and then he cleared us when he said, weeping may endure for a night. For a night. That's your night. That's your time. And understand, a night just ain't one night. That's that time. He said that weeping may endure for a night, but joy will come in the morning. Yeah. Yeah. And it will come, because he said, but that doesn't mean in the morning. That's going to be some mornings. But yeah. But I'm saying this is what he said. But if I'm still trying to go to work, and I know that's not good, I really need to fully, really try to release whatever it is that's up on me. And only I can do it. Only me and God can do that. It ain't a talk on the phone. It may not be that. It's just me and God doing it. I'm just saying, it's just real. And like I say, our young people really doesn't learn that because they don't see it from us. They didn't know you were upset. They didn't know that bothered you in that way. That was an experience they needed to experience too. My kids always go back and tell me the best time in their life, and was the hardest time for me. They said, Dad, I loved it when we had an ice chest. We didn't have an ice box, and all the family would eat bologna sandwiches, and milk was in there. And then when we got ice box, it's like we all got away from each other. Everybody went there, over here, but they always go back and talk about that ice chest. All of them always go. So if they hadn't got to experience that, you know what I'm saying? Them times is important, man. Just as important as it is for you, it's important for them. I want to see my son think I'm strong and never see me cry. Well, you know what that's going to do to my son? He don't have no feelings or nothing. Ain't nothing going to mean nothing to him. So you need to see your dad crying. You need to know that that's all right to do. You know what I'm saying? You need to see your dad and say, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. You need to see that. But we don't want them to see our failures. But we want them to get our success. Get this. But the success ain't going to mean nothing if you didn't get the...
But then failures will grow.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just something, man, and it's just...
And I think that, and as, being in a Christian home, that you need to, allow your children to tell them don't cry or don't, because that's real. The hurt is real.
Yeah.
So, when you tell a young boy, big boys don't cry, or those things have lasting effects.
Yeah.
When you do that, and I think it's more in our culture, in my culture,
Yeah.
that we do that more.
I know for me, Phillip had called me when Phillip's 33 years old at the time, and he had called me, boy, and he had this clog in his throat. I said, man, what's going on? And he couldn't even talk because he was crying so hard. And one of his classmates, buddies he grew up with, committed suicide. And he had just got some success. He was a white guy, and he played in a band, and he had his own band, and got his life together, and was raising his son. And Phillip was trying to tell me about it, and he was, he couldn't even talk. And I said, man, you can't even go to work. You can't even leave. He was trying to go to work. He was trying to get himself together where he could go to work. I said, man, you can't go to work. You chill and relax, man. Get your day together and just, man, it's good to think about him, all that and that, and call me later. You know what I'm saying? And then he was able to talk to me. Later on, he was able to talk. And he said, man, Daddy, his son, you know what I'm saying? He was all he had. And so he was able to share a little bit. But I'm saying and he didn't know anybody else to call to get this out. It's important, man, to know that you don't think I'm a punk being a man and I'm crying. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the thing. If a man cry, he's weak. Yeah. So I'm just, it's just something to think about. How do you be comfortable in an uncomfortable place? Yeah. And then I'm always saying what God says. He said, weeping may last for a night, but joy is coming in the morning. So I just believe that. I can weep as long as I need to weep. Joy is coming in the morning. However long that is, because, you never know. You never know, but anybody else?
But I think the storms of life and lives of the young people will teach them. Because, see, when they have experiences, this is where they learn. We can talk all we want to, but unless they walk the shoes that we walk, then.
Yeah, but then you know what they said, know what that buddy said to that kid when that kid is crying? You'll feel all right. You'll feel all right. That ain't nothing, man. You get over it.
That's what reality.
Yeah. And then but you know what comes from that? That kid, for whatever reason, found some type of peace for that moment. But still, that was a relief for that minute, because you didn't share with me that situation. My buddy, my homeboy came and shared it. And he said, yeah. I mean, how does somebody handle hurt? We don't even understand how to handle hurt. So, you got a kid that's handling hurt. He don't know where to go. You know what I'm saying? He don't know, can I talk to, am I supposed to be hurt? Should I display this pain? Or should I, I don't know. Like I say, some things won't bother me. Mother didn't bother me. My sisters, sisters that left, aunts, my nephew, suicide. It was cool. Broken marriages, a young boy struggling, I'll cry like a baby. I will cry like a baby. And it's just some things that just speaks to you more than others. Yeah. 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 So I'm just saying, it ain't no right way. It's just.
Reverend Dawson, I believe this. Once you have taught them as a young child, and they get to be an adult, and they start going through these things, whether it's death of their friends or whatever, they might go to their friend
for a moment.
Mhm.
But your son came back to you.
Mhm.
He knew that if I come back to Daddy, he's going to give me something to hold on to.
Mhm.
And that's all we can do.
Mhm.
Just teach them, train them, help them out, although they might run to their friends. But it's good when they can come back to a parent or a grandparent and say, hey, I need your help. And that's where the blessing is at.
Yeah, hopefully.
In them situations, they coming.
Yeah, they coming home, man.
That lady had a son 30 years old. She had to go to court to put him out.
But like
He came back.
it's it's but it's just like the spiritual. It's like the spiritual and the mental and all these things go into one when a situation. So you're not just 100% of yourself when crisis or things hit. You know, so it's just not you. Yeah, yeah. So it's just something to think on, just something to visit. You know, we all just use one another to get better. Tell you, everybody has been a good example and a help to me in this church. You know, ever since I walked in it, because I didn't know nothing. I had to walk in and see a man. I had to walk in and see some men living like, you know, I had to see that. And so it's just that saying that somebody's always watching. Yeah. You don't have, and you ain't going to see them all the time either, but they always watching. Yeah. But I mean, I'm just, you know, that you hear everybody's, when a situation there strikes up and then you don't want to hear. You know, that's the last thing you want somebody to tell you, God. You know that. You know, that's the last thing you want to hear. And you looking at them like, you think I don't know that? What? Yeah, you think I don't know that? You know, but right now, let me have my moment. Yeah. Yeah. Right now. So we don't have any more. We meeting tonight, and our meetings. Yeah. We can dismiss if nobody got anything else and go to our meeting.